Hello kids, welcome to the Dream Journey. Today we are going to tell a new story about a curious boy named Sam. Sam loved adventures, but sometimes, no matter how hard he tried, everything seemed unclear and difficult, like a crumpled map that he couldn't quite read. His days were filled with small struggles. A friend being grumpy, a puzzle piece that wouldn't fit, or a task that seemed too big. Sam just wanted a smooth, easy journey through the day. But it felt like the map of his life was always too confusing to navigate. One quiet night, after another long day of frustration, Sam climbed into bed, feeling the weight of everything that hadn't gone right. As he stared at the ceiling, wondering why things never seemed to go the way he planned, something magical happened. At the foot of his bed, a soft, glowing light appeared. It shimmered gently, casting calming hues of gold and silver across the room. Sam blinked and rubbed his eyes. There, at the foot of the bed, was an ancient, unfurling map. It wasn't like any map he had ever seen before. This map didn't show lands or oceans. Instead, it was filled with winding paths, glowing lines, and intricate symbols that seemed to pulse softly with an almost magical energy. It was the unfurling map of gentle journeys, a map that didn't guide you across physical terrain but through the twists and turns of daily life. The map appeared to be alive, breathing softly, its edges curling up in an inviting way as though it were waiting for Sam to come closer. Sam leaned forward, drawn to it by some force he couldn't explain. His hand hovered over the map, unsure what to do next. Sam leaned closer to the unfurling map, his eyes wide with curiosity. The soft glow of the map seemed to pull him in, drawing his attention completely away from the frustration of his day. He felt an odd sense of calm wash over him as he studied the shifting lines and symbols. The map was unlike anything he had ever seen. It didn't show roads or towns. Instead, the symbols seemed to change, glowing softly and pulsing as though they were alive. Sam's fingers hovered over the map, unsure of what to do next. The longer Sam looked at the map, the more he felt something like a quiet whisper in the air. It wasn't a voice, but more of a feeling, like the map was trying to guide him in a way he couldn't fully understand. Slowly, a soft, glowing path began to appear. The lines were delicate, winding their way across the map in smooth, graceful arcs. At the end of this path was a glowing symbol that shimmered with a golden light. Sam couldn't help but feel a sense of wonder. The path on the map wasn't leading him to any place he knew. It wasn't showing a place, but rather a way to navigate a part of his life. The glowing path seemed to be offering him a subtle, yet gentle choice. It wasn't pointing to a destination, but to a way of looking at things differently. His thoughts went back to the small frustrations of the day. The puzzle that wouldn't fit together, the grumpy friend who seemed impossible to cheer up, and the overwhelming task that seemed so much bigger than it needed to be. As Sam stared at the map, something began to shift. The glowing path, still softly pulsating, began to feel like an invitation to take a different route, to try something new, something that could make the day's troubles a little less overwhelming. Sam's hand trembled as he reached out, his fingers brushing the glowing line. He wasn't sure what was going to happen next, but he felt, for the first time in a while, a sense of hope. The map wasn't telling him what to do. It was offering him something even more valuable, a new way of seeing things, a way to navigate his day, step by step. As Sam gazed at the unfurling map, the path on it began to make more sense, though it wasn't entirely clear how or why. It wasn't a traditional map, with clear roads or destinations, but something else. A guide to understanding how to navigate the small obstacles in his life. The glowing lines led to different symbols, each one more intricate than the last, and Sam felt a deep sense of calm starting to take over him. It was as though the map wasn't just showing him the way to physical places, but offering him a way to move through the struggles of his day with a new sense of perspective. Suddenly, a soft, faint glow appeared at one of the map's turns, lighting up a small bridge. This wasn't a bridge made of wood or stone, but one of patience. The map wasn't telling Sam exactly what to do. Instead, it was offering him the choice to take a moment and breathe, to let go of his immediate frustration. He looked closely, wondering if this was the map's answer to the puzzle that had frustrated him all day. The bridge of patience glowed gently in the soft gold of the map. Sam's brow furrowed. He wasn't quite sure what it meant, but something deep within him felt the truth in it. He recalled the puzzle he had spent hours on earlier, the one where the pieces just wouldn't fit no matter how hard he tried. He hadn't been patient with himself, hadn't taken a step back to breathe or relax. The idea of a bridge of patience didn't just sound like good advice. It felt like a small invitation to pause, to try again but with a gentler spirit. Sam took a deep breath, leaning in closer to the map, feeling an unexpected warmth wash over him. For the first time that day, his mind cleared. The chaotic swirl of frustration that had clouded his thoughts began to settle, and he felt himself moving toward that glowing bridge in his mind. He didn't need to solve everything at once. Maybe, just maybe, he needed to take things one step at a time. The symbols on the map began to shift once more, and Sam saw another glowing path appear. This time a winding road leading toward a small, shining door labeled with the word, understanding. Sam's heart skipped a beat. He recognized that path. He had a friend who had been grumpy all day, someone he couldn't quite reach no matter how hard he tried. Maybe this symbol held the key to understanding what had been going on. The map wasn't telling him how to fix everything, but it was showing him the way to approach things with new eyes, with gentleness, patience, and compassion. Sam felt a quiet sense of excitement as the new path appeared on the map. The path to understanding seemed like a gentle invitation, one that led toward something meaningful. He thought of his friend, the one who had been grumpy all day. Someone Sam hadn't been able to connect with no matter how hard he tried. Sam had tried everything, offering help, trying to cheer them up, but nothing seemed to work. Now, as he looked at the glowing path on the map, he wondered if it held the answer to how he could truly understand what was going on. He stood up and walked over to the map, his fingers lightly tracing the new path. The delicate symbols that surrounded the path seemed to pulse with a soft energy, each one hinting at a quiet moment of insight or reflection. Sam could feel the map's quiet presence guiding him, as if it were suggesting that understanding wasn't something that could be rushed or forced. It needed time, patience, and perhaps a bit of listening. As he thought about his friend's grumpiness, Sam realized that he hadn't really listened. He had been too focused on fixing the problem, trying to cheer his friend up instead of just being there, listening to what might have been troubling them. The map's soft glow filled the room, and Sam could almost hear its silent message. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is simply listen. A feeling of warmth washed over Sam as he reached out and touched the glowing path. The map didn't give him specific instructions, but the gentle path towards understanding was clear. It wasn't about solving his friend's problem or making everything better. It was about being present, offering a quiet space for his friend to open up when they were ready. Sam smiled softly, the map's wisdom settling into his heart. He could do that. He could be patient, understanding, and kind, just as the map had shown him. Sam turned away from the map, feeling a sense of calm and purpose. He knew that by taking the time to listen, he might uncover something deeper, something that would help him understand his friend in a way he hadn't before. It wasn't a solution in the traditional sense, but it was the beginning of a new way of seeing things. The next day, Sam's encounter with the unfurling map lingered in his mind. He hadn't spoken to his friend yet, but something had shifted inside him. The map had offered him a quiet, gentle path, one that didn't force answers or solutions, but instead provided a new perspective. As he walked to school, the weight of the morning's frustration seemed lighter. It wasn't that the problems had disappeared, but he felt more equipped to face them, more willing to approach them with patience. When he saw his friend sitting by the swings at recess, Sam hesitated for only a moment before walking over. His friend's eyes were downcast, their shoulders hunched, and Sam noticed the slight frown on their face. Sam knew that look. It was the same one his friend had worn all morning, but this time, something inside Sam clicked. Instead of immediately trying to fix things, to cheer his friend up with jokes or distractions, Sam remembered the map's lesson. Sometimes the best way to help someone is simply to listen. He sat beside his friend, not saying anything at first. The silence between them wasn't uncomfortable. It felt natural, like a shared space that didn't need words to fill it. Sam glanced at his friend, and for the first time, he noticed the subtle signs of frustration. The way their fingers gripped the edge of the swing as if holding onto something they couldn't let go of. Sam's heart softened and he gently asked, "Do you want to talk about it?" His friend didn't answer right away, but after a long pause they sighed, looking over at Sam. "I'm just upset," they said quietly. "I don't really know why. Just everything. And I didn't want to bring anyone down." Sam nodded, offering a small smile. "I understand. I've been there too," he said softly. "You don't have to explain anything. I'm just here." The words weren't magical, but they were enough. His friend's tense shoulders slowly relaxed as Sam sat quietly beside them, allowing the moment to unfold naturally. There was no pressure to fix things, no rush to change how they felt. Sam simply listened, and in doing so, his friend began to share what had been weighing on their heart. It wasn't an instant fix, but it was a start. The feeling Sam had on the walk to school returned. Lightness, peace, and a sense that maybe, just maybe, the map had shown him more than just a way to approach his day. It had shown him how to see people, how to be present in a way that mattered. Sam felt grateful for the map, even though it was still lying quietly in his room. Its lessons weren't just on the page. They had already begun to take root inside him. The days that followed were filled with small, quiet moments where Sam continued to follow the map's subtle guidance. Each day he took a little more time to listen, to his friends, to his thoughts, and even to himself. The map had shown him that sometimes the answer wasn't in rushing to fix things, but in simply being present, being patient, and giving things the space to unfold in their own time. One afternoon, Sam sat down at his desk, the puzzle that had once frustrated him now lying neatly in front of him. He had picked it up again, but this time with a calmness he hadn't had before. The pieces still didn't fit perfectly, but instead of forcing them together, Sam took a deep breath. He remembered the bridge of patience from the map, and he paused. The map hadn't given him the solution. It hadn't told him exactly how to place each piece, but it had given him the space to approach the task differently. He could see that maybe it wasn't about forcing things into place, but about working slowly, carefully, and enjoying the process of discovery. Sam picked up the first piece and placed it down, trying not to rush. Slowly but steadily, the puzzle began to take shape. At school the next day, Sam found himself once again walking toward his friend, who had been quiet all morning. Instead of jumping in with solutions or trying to cheer them up, Sam took a moment, just as he had with the puzzle, to approach the situation gently. He asked, "How are you feeling today?" His friend's face softened, and for a moment, the distance between them seemed to close. They didn't speak right away, but Sam's quiet presence made all the difference. And when his friend finally spoke, it wasn't about needing to fix anything. It was about offering the space to simply be understood. As the days went by, Sam began to feel more confident in his ability to navigate the challenges that came his way. The unfurling map, still lying quietly in his room, had offered him more than just gentle routes and calming paths. It had shown him that the journey was just as important as the destination, and that sometimes, taking a small detour or simply slowing down could make all the difference. The map had been his guide, but now Sam realized that he had learned to trust his own instincts and approach life with a new sense of calm wisdom. The magical map, with its glowing paths and subtle guidance, had given Sam something precious. The ability to take life one step at a time, to listen deeply, and to move through each day with a heart open to whatever came his way. As the days passed, Sam continued to follow the map's subtle guidance. The puzzle, the conversation with his friend, and even the smallest tasks all felt different now. The map had become a quiet companion, one that helped him slow down and look at the world with a calmer, more patient eye. Sam didn't need to rely on the map for every decision, but it had opened his heart to the idea that there was a gentler way to move through life. One afternoon, Sam found himself standing before a large stack of books that needed to be read for school. Normally, he would have felt overwhelmed by the sheer size of the task. The pile of books seemed so tall, almost like a mountain that he had to climb. But instead of feeling anxious, Sam smiled softly to himself, remembering the path of small steps from the map. He had learned that big tasks weren't about forcing them to be completed all at once. They were about breaking them down step by step and taking each piece in stride. With the map's lesson in mind, Sam picked up the first book and opened it. The pages seemed less daunting now, and each page he turned brought him closer to the end of the book. He wasn't in a rush. He wasn't trying to finish everything in one sitting. Instead, he focused on the small steps, the pages he could read today, the sentences he could understand, and the new things he was learning as he went. The task was no longer a mountain to climb. It was simply a journey, one step at a time. Later that week, Sam sat on the edge of his bed, the unfurling map lying quietly in front of him. He realized that the map had given him more than just a guide for solving problems. It had shown him how to live in a way that honored the pace of his life. The map had been there for the small challenges, the everyday frustrations, but it had also given him the space to grow. It had shown him that every challenge, no matter how small, could be approached with patience, empathy, and a willingness to slow down. Sam smiled as he carefully folded the map and tucked it back under his pillow. He didn't need to carry it around with him anymore. The lessons it had offered were now part of him. He was learning to trust himself and his own ability to find the gentle path in life, no matter what twists or turns came his way. The days passed, and Sam found himself increasingly in tune with the rhythm of his life. With each small challenge he encountered, he learned to approach it with a sense of quiet wisdom. The map, though it remained tucked under his pillow, had left an indelible mark on him. He no longer felt overwhelmed by small frustrations. Whether it was a stubborn puzzle piece, a friend in need of understanding, or a big task looming ahead, Sam knew how to approach it, one small step at a time. One evening, after a particularly long day, Sam sat in his room reflecting on everything that had happened. He thought about how much had changed in just a few weeks. He no longer felt that constant pressure to hurry, to solve everything right away, or to be perfect. The map had shown him the power of patience, of listening, and of breaking down even the biggest challenges into manageable steps. And with that knowledge, Sam had grown into someone who could trust himself and his instincts, even when things didn't go according to plan. That night, as he climbed into bed, Sam pulled the unfurling map out from under his pillow. It had been a silent companion, offering him gentle guidance without ever saying a word. The map's light still glowed softly in the dark, but tonight, there was no need for answers or solutions. Sam had learned the most important lesson of all, that the journey itself was just as important as the destination. With a smile, Sam folded the map one last time, tucking it away for the night. He didn't need to rely on the map anymore. It had already taught him what he needed to know. As he drifted off to sleep, the glow of the map's magic still lingered in his heart, guiding him with a quiet sense of calm, patience, and understanding. The unfurling map had shown Sam how to navigate his world, but in the end, Sam had found the greatest wisdom was already within him. As Sam lay in bed, the soft glow of the moon casting shadows on his walls, he felt a sense of deep contentment. The journey he had embarked on with the unfurling map had taught him more than he could have imagined. It had shown him the beauty of slowing down, of approaching each challenge with patience and understanding. And now, as he drifted into a peaceful sleep, he realized that he no longer needed the map to guide him. The lessons it had taught him were already a part of who he was. Sam closed his eyes, his mind quiet and at peace. There were no worries or fears keeping him awake tonight. He trusted that tomorrow would come, and whatever challenges it might bring, he would face them with the same calm wisdom he had learned from the map. He had discovered that the key to navigating life's twists and turns wasn't about knowing all the answers ahead of time. It was about trusting himself, taking things one step at a time, and being open to the quiet guidance that life itself offered. In the quiet stillness of the night, Sam's heart swelled with gratitude for the journey he had taken, and for the new way of seeing the world that the map had given him. The map might have been tucked away for now, but its wisdom would stay with him forever, quietly guiding him through life's adventures, big and small. And as Sam drifted deeper into sleep, the soft glow of the unfurling map continued to shine in his heart, a gentle reminder that every journey, no matter how uncertain, could be faced with patience, understanding, and a little bit of quiet wisdom. The next morning, Sam woke with a sense of calm that he hadn't felt before. The quiet wisdom from the map had settled deep inside him, and he carried it with him as he started his day. His feet hit the floor with a gentle thud, and he stretched, taking in the quiet of the morning. As he prepared for school, he didn't rush. His thoughts weren't cluttered with worries or tasks to finish. Instead, he felt an inner peace, a quiet knowing that whatever the day brought, he could handle it with patience and calm. At breakfast, Sam's mom noticed the change. She smiled warmly as she passed him a plate of pancakes. "You seem different today," she remarked, noticing how Sam was taking his time, enjoying each bite, and not rushing through his meal like usual. Sam smiled back, a soft and quiet smile, as he looked up from his plate. "I've learned a lot recently," he said simply, his voice calm and steady. His mom raised an eyebrow, intrigued. "Oh really? What's been going on?" Sam paused for a moment, reflecting on the lessons of the past few days. The map's gentle guidance had taught him something that he had never quite understood before: the importance of slowing down, of truly listening, and of taking each moment as it came. He didn't have all the answers, but he knew he didn't need to rush to find them. "I've learned that it's okay to take things one step at a time," he said, his voice soft but firm. "And that even when things don't go the way you want, you can still find a way to move through it. You just have to be patient." His mom nodded, a knowing smile playing at the corners of her lips. "Sounds like you've really been thinking things through. I'm proud of you, Sam." Sam felt a warm sense of pride swell in his chest. He wasn't perfect, but he was learning, growing, and becoming someone who could approach life with a quiet confidence and patience that he had never known before. As the day went on, Sam continued to apply what he had learned from the unfurling map. At school, when things didn't go as planned, he didn't feel frustrated or anxious. Instead, he remembered the map's lessons. Take a step back, breathe, and look for a new path. Whether it was a difficult math problem, a disagreement with a classmate, or a task that seemed too big, Sam approached it with calm and understanding. And in the quiet moments, when the day began to wind down, Sam would often think back to the map. He didn't need it to guide him anymore. He had learned how to trust himself and find his own way. But he was grateful for the gentle wisdom it had given him, a wisdom that would stay with him long after the map had faded from view. Sam's confidence continued to grow with each passing day, as did his ability to face life's little challenges with a calm and steady heart. He didn't need to have all the answers, and he didn't need to solve everything right away. The unfurling map had taught him that each challenge was simply another opportunity to learn and grow, and he was learning to embrace that. One day, as Sam was walking home from school, he encountered a situation he hadn't expected. A group of students was gathered around, laughing and pointing at something in the distance. As Sam approached, he saw that they were teasing a younger student who had dropped all of their books on the ground. The younger student stood there, looking embarrassed and unsure of how to gather their things. Sam hesitated for a moment, wondering what he should do. The memory of the detour of listening from the map flickered in his mind, and instead of walking away or joining in with the others, Sam decided to act differently. He approached the younger student with a gentle smile. "Hey, can I help you with that?" Sam asked quietly, crouching down to help pick up the scattered books. The younger student looked up at Sam, surprised but grateful. "Oh, thank you," they said softly, their face still red with embarrassment. Sam smiled warmly and continued to help gather the books, not rushing, just quietly being there. As they finished, he said, "Don't worry about it. We all drop things sometimes." When the younger student stood up, they looked at Sam with a new sense of confidence. "Thanks," they said again, their voice a little stronger now. Sam gave them a reassuring nod before walking away, feeling good about how he had handled the situation. As he walked home, Sam reflected on the interaction. He didn't need to fix everything, but he had learned that sometimes just being there for someone, offering a moment of kindness and patience, was enough. The unfurling map had shown him that wisdom didn't always come in big, dramatic moments. Sometimes it came in small, quiet gestures that made the world feel a little bit gentler. As the days went by, Sam began to notice something else that was shifting within him. It wasn't just the way he approached challenges or how he interacted with others. It was his perspective on the world itself. Sam had always loved adventures, but now he saw each day as an adventure in its own right. Even in the smallest moments, there was a chance to learn, to grow, and to approach life with curiosity and patience. One afternoon, Sam's teacher handed out a new assignment, a big research project on the history of a famous explorer. Normally, Sam would have felt overwhelmed by the size of the task. The very thought of gathering research, writing the paper, and presenting it would have sent him into a frenzy. But this time, Sam smiled to himself, remembering the path of small steps. He had learned that big tasks didn't have to be intimidating if you took them one piece at a time. The project was divided into sections: research, outline, draft, and final presentation. Instead of worrying about the entire project, Sam focused on just the first step: gathering his research. He broke the task down even further, choosing one book at a time and reading a few pages each day. The map's lessons had stuck with him, and now he was able to apply them to this new challenge. As Sam worked through the project, he took time to enjoy the process. He didn't rush through the research. Instead, he let himself get lost in the stories of the explorers, fascinated by their journeys. When it came time to outline his paper, Sam didn't try to make everything perfect at once. He took each section step by step, knowing that the final product would come together if he was patient and steady with his work. By the time Sam finished the project, he realized that he hadn't just completed an assignment. He had learned to approach tasks in a new way. The pressure was gone. The fear of failure was no longer holding him back. The unfurling map had taught him that there was beauty in the journey, not just the destination, and that every task, no matter how big, could be broken down into manageable, peaceful steps. When Sam stood in front of the class to present his project, he was calm. He spoke confidently, taking his time, enjoying the moment rather than rushing through it. The map's lessons had become part of who he was, guiding him gently through life's many adventures, one step at a time. As the weeks went on, Sam's newfound confidence became more apparent in every area of his life. He approached each day with a sense of quiet assurance, knowing that no matter what challenges arose, he had the patience and wisdom to handle them. His friends noticed the change too. Sam's calm demeanor and thoughtful way of approaching situations made him someone they turned to when they needed advice or simply someone to listen. One afternoon, during lunch at school, Sam's friend came up to him. They looked a bit hesitant, as if they weren't sure how to say what was on their mind. Sam smiled gently, inviting them to sit down beside him. "What's on your mind?" Sam asked, his voice soft and welcoming. His friend hesitated for a moment, looking down at their food before meeting Sam's gaze. "I've been feeling off lately," they admitted, their voice quiet. "I don't know why, but it's like everything's harder than usual. I just feel stuck, you know." Sam nodded, his expression calm but empathetic. "I get that," he said quietly. "I've felt like that before too. Sometimes it's okay to just let yourself feel stuck. You don't have to have all the answers right away." His friend looked at him, surprised by how calm Sam was. "But what if I never figure it out?" they asked, their voice tinged with uncertainty. Sam smiled gently. "It's okay to not know everything," he said. "The most important thing is to keep taking small steps. You don't have to figure everything out in one go. Sometimes just being patient with yourself is all you need." His friend sat silently for a moment, absorbing Sam's words. Then they smiled softly. "Thanks, Sam. I think I needed to hear that." Sam nodded. "Anytime. I'm here for you." That conversation, though simple, was a turning point. Sam didn't have all the answers for his friend, but the map's lessons had taught him that sometimes the best thing you can do is just listen and offer a little bit of patience and understanding. And with that, Sam realized that he wasn't just navigating his own life anymore. He was also able to help others find their own paths, one small step at a time. As the weeks passed, Sam's ability to navigate life's challenges with patience and understanding continued to grow. He didn't just apply these lessons to big tasks or problems. He started using them in all areas of his life. Whether he was helping a classmate with a problem, dealing with a tricky situation at home, or simply going about his daily routine, Sam was learning that even the smallest moments held value if approached with the right mindset. One afternoon, Sam found himself standing in the school courtyard with his friend, who had been feeling a bit down again. This time, Sam's friend didn't need to say anything for Sam to know that something was on their mind. They were sitting on the edge of the courtyard, staring at the ground with a quiet, distant look. Sam sat beside them, offering the same gentle presence he always had. "Hey," Sam said softly, breaking the silence. "You want to talk about it?" His friend hesitated, then sighed, looking over at Sam. "I don't know. I just feel like I'm always messing up lately. Like nothing's going right, and I can't seem to fix it." Sam nodded, his expression calm. He remembered how he had once felt the same way, constantly running into problems that seemed too big to solve. But now, after all the lessons the map had given him, Sam understood something important. "It's okay to mess up," Sam said quietly. "It doesn't mean you're failing. Sometimes we just need a little time to figure things out, and that's okay." His friend looked at him, surprised by Sam's calm words. "You really think so?" they asked, their voice a little softer. "I know so," Sam replied with a gentle smile. "The important thing is to take one step at a time. You don't have to fix everything all at once. Just take it slow, and things will fall into place." His friend nodded slowly, as if Sam's words had given them a sense of clarity. They sat together for a while in comfortable silence, watching the other students in the courtyard. But now, the atmosphere felt lighter. The quiet, patient wisdom Sam had learned from the Unfurling Map had helped him not only guide himself but also offer a little light to those around him. As they got up to go to class, Sam felt a deep sense of contentment. He had learned that patience wasn't just a lesson to be followed. It was a way of being, a way of understanding both himself and others. The map might have been tucked away, but its lessons were still alive in Sam's heart, guiding him with every quiet, steady step he took. As the school year began to wind down, Sam continued to carry the lessons he had learned from the Unfurling Map with him. His friends noticed the changes in him too, often turning to Sam for advice or just for his calming presence. Sam didn't feel the need to have all the answers anymore. He had learned that sometimes just being there for someone, listening, offering a moment of patience, was all they needed. One afternoon, Sam's teacher asked the class to share something they had learned during the year. When it was Sam's turn, he stood up slowly, his heart calm and steady. He didn't need to rush through his words. He didn't need to impress anyone. Instead, he simply shared the one thing that had made the biggest difference in his life. "I've learned," Sam began, his voice steady and clear, "that it's okay to take things one step at a time. And sometimes when things don't go the way we expect, it's not about fixing everything. It's about being patient with yourself, trusting that things will unfold as they're meant to." He looked around at his classmates, many of whom were nodding along, and smiled softly. "I've learned that being patient with yourself and with others can make a big difference. Sometimes the best way to face a challenge is to slow down and take small steps. You don't have to have all the answers at once." The classroom was quiet for a moment, and Sam could feel the weight of his words settling into the space. His classmates didn't need a big speech or a complicated lesson. They just needed someone to share the simple truth that Sam had learned. Patience, understanding, and small steps could turn even the most difficult challenges into manageable ones. As Sam sat back down, he felt a sense of peace. He had come a long way from the frustrated, anxious boy who had first opened the Unfurling Map. He wasn't perfect, but he was learning, growing, and embracing life one step at a time. And as the bell rang to signal the end of the school day, Sam realized that he didn't need to have everything figured out. Life was a journey, and he was learning to navigate it with patience, wisdom, and a quiet confidence that came from trusting the process. As summer break approached, Sam reflected on how much had changed in such a short time. He had started the school year as a boy who often felt lost or overwhelmed by the challenges of everyday life. But now, with the Unfurling Map's lessons nestled deeply in his heart, Sam felt a quiet confidence that he hadn't known before. He didn't just face challenges with patience. He approached them with curiosity, as though each obstacle was a new opportunity to grow. One afternoon, as he sat by the window, watching the sun dip low in the sky, Sam realized that he had reached a point where he no longer needed the map to guide him. The lessons had become a part of him, woven into the fabric of who he was. The map had shown him how to take things one step at a time, how to listen deeply, and how to be patient with both himself and others. It had taught him that every day was an opportunity to learn, and every challenge was an invitation to approach life with a new perspective. Sam's thoughts drifted to the upcoming summer. The school year was ending, and with it came the promise of adventure and freedom. He didn't need a map to guide him on his summer adventures. He was ready to explore, to take his time, and to let each moment unfold at its own pace. Whether it was exploring new places, spending time with friends, or simply enjoying the quiet moments of life, Sam knew that he was equipped with the tools to approach everything with a calm heart and an open mind. The lessons of the Unfurling Map had stayed with him, and now they were a quiet, steady presence inside him, guiding him as he continued to grow and navigate the world. Sam didn't need the map to find his way anymore. He had learned that the true journey was not just about the destination, but about how you move through life, one gentle step at a time. As the school bell rang for the last time, signaling the end of the year, Sam smiled to himself. He was ready for whatever came next, knowing that he would face it with the same patience, understanding, and quiet wisdom that the Unfurling Map had shown him. Summer was finally here, and Sam felt a quiet excitement as the days stretched ahead of him like a vast, open sky. The lessons from the Unfurling Map had settled into his heart, guiding him through each day with patience and an open mind. Whether he was going on adventures with friends, spending time with family, or simply exploring new hobbies, Sam approached each moment with a sense of calm and curiosity, knowing that he didn't have to rush or force anything. One afternoon, Sam and his friend decided to go on a hike in the nearby woods. The air was warm, and the sun filtered through the trees, casting dappled light on the path ahead. As they walked, Sam's friend started to feel frustrated, noticing the uneven terrain and the steep incline. "This is harder than I thought," they said, their voice tinged with frustration. Sam smiled gently, remembering the lessons he had learned. "It's okay," he said. "We can take it one step at a time. We don't have to rush. Just keep moving forward slowly." His friend looked at Sam, surprised by how calm he sounded. "You're right," they said, their voice softening. "Let's take it slow." And so they did. They walked together, one step at a time, enjoying the beauty of the woods around them. Sam didn't focus on the destination or the difficulty of the hike. Instead, he embraced the journey itself, taking in the sights and sounds of nature along the way. His friend, too, began to relax, realizing that there was no need to rush or push through the challenge. They were just walking together, enjoying each step. By the time they reached the top of the hill, Sam and his friend were both smiling, feeling accomplished but not in a rush to leave. The view from the top was breathtaking, but the true reward was in the quiet, steady journey they had taken to get there. Sam realized that the journey, no matter how small or big, was always worth it when you embraced each step with patience and understanding. As they sat on the hillside, watching the sun set behind the trees, Sam felt grateful for the lessons the map had given him. He didn't need a map anymore to guide him through life's twists and turns. The wisdom it had shared was already inside him, and it would continue to guide him, one gentle step at a time. As the days of summer stretched out before him, Sam found himself reflecting on the many lessons he had learned, not just from the unfurling map, but from his own experiences, his friends, and his family. The summer days were peaceful and free, filled with moments of joy, exploration, and a growing understanding of himself and the world around him. One warm evening, Sam and his family decided to take a trip to the lake. It was a place they visited every year, a quiet spot where they could spend the day swimming, fishing, or simply enjoying the beauty of nature. This time, however, Sam approached the trip with a new sense of mindfulness. He had learned to take his time and truly appreciate the small moments, whether it was the gentle ripple of the water or the laughter of his family as they played together. As they arrived at the lake, Sam took a deep breath, savoring the fresh air and the sounds of nature surrounding him. The water shimmered in the late afternoon sun, and the tall trees along the shore swayed gently in the breeze. Sam felt at peace, knowing that there was no need to rush through the day. He could simply be present in each moment, enjoying the journey without worrying about the destination. Later in the afternoon, as Sam sat on the dock, his feet dangling in the cool water, he reflected on how far he had come. The unfurling map had been a powerful guide, but it was the journey itself that had taught him the most. He had learned to embrace the uncertainty of life, to take things one step at a time, and to trust that everything would unfold as it was meant to. There was no need to force things or have all the answers. All Sam needed to do was keep moving forward with patience, understanding, and an open heart. As the sun began to set, casting a golden light over the lake, Sam felt a quiet sense of gratitude for the lessons he had learned. He didn't need to follow a map anymore. He had found his own way, and that way was one of peace, patience, and the gentle understanding that life was not a race to the finish line, but a journey to be embraced, step by step. The summer days passed in a blissful haze, and Sam felt a quiet sense of peace with each passing moment. He had come so far since first discovering the unfurling map, and while it was no longer something he actively needed to consult, its wisdom had woven itself into the fabric of his life. He no longer felt the pressure to rush, to fix, or to have all the answers. Instead, Sam embraced the natural rhythm of life, one step at a time, trusting that the journey would unfold as it was meant to. One afternoon, Sam took a walk by himself through the woods near his house. The air was warm, and the scent of pine filled the air. The sun was high in the sky, casting long, dappled shadows through the trees. Sam moved slowly, his feet crunching on the soft earth beneath him. He was in no hurry. As he walked, he let his thoughts wander. He thought about how, just a few months ago, he would have felt overwhelmed by all the things that had come up in his life. But now, with the lessons of the unfurling map guiding him, Sam understood that each moment, no matter how small, held meaning. As Sam continued along the path, he spotted a small creek running through the woods. He approached it, kneeling by the water's edge, and watched as the water flowed over the rocks, sparkling in the sunlight. The sound of the water was soothing, and Sam smiled, feeling a deep sense of connection to the natural world around him. It was moments like these that reminded him of the simple joys of life, moments that didn't need to be rushed or perfected. They just were. Sitting by the creek, Sam closed his eyes for a moment, taking in the sights and sounds around him. He could hear the birds singing in the trees, the rustling of the leaves in the breeze, and the gentle flow of the creek. He breathed deeply, feeling the cool, fresh air fill his lungs. Sam realized that this peaceful, quiet moment was all he needed. He didn't need to search for anything outside of himself. The calm he sought was already within him. As the sun began to dip lower in the sky, Sam stood up, brushing off the dirt from his pants. He felt at peace, ready to continue his walk. He knew that whatever came next, whatever challenges or moments of joy lay ahead, he would face them with the same calm and understanding he had learned to embrace. The journey of life, Sam realized, wasn't about finding the quickest route to the end. It was about embracing each step, no matter how small, and trusting that the path would unfold just as it was meant to. As summer came to a close and the new school year approached, Sam felt a sense of quiet fulfillment. The lessons from the unfurling map had become a natural part of his life, guiding him not just through challenges but through every day. He had learned to approach life with patience, to take things one step at a time, and to embrace each moment for what it was, rather than rushing toward the next. On the first day of school, Sam felt calm and steady as he walked through the doors. The hallways were bustling with students, and there was the usual excitement mixed with nervous energy. But Sam wasn't swept up in the rush. He walked through the hallways with a sense of quiet confidence, knowing that whatever came his way, he would face it with the same patience and understanding that had guided him all summer long. In his first class of the day, Sam's teacher asked the students to share something they had learned over the summer. Sam smiled softly, remembering the lessons of the Unfurling Map, and when it was his turn, he stood up to speak. "I learned," Sam began, his voice calm and steady, "that it's okay to take things one step at a time. That sometimes when things feel overwhelming, the best thing to do is just slow down and approach them slowly. And that it's okay to not have everything figured out at once." He looked around the classroom, where his classmates were listening intently. It's not about having all the answers. It's about taking the next step, trusting that things will unfold as they're meant to. There was a quiet moment in the room as Sam finished speaking. His classmates didn't respond with applause or excitement, but Sam didn't mind. He could see that his words had made an impact, even if it was just in the small, quiet way that they resonated with those around him. Sam sat back down, feeling a sense of peace. The Unfurling Map had shown him that life wasn't about rushing to the finish line. It was about embracing the journey, step by step, and trusting that the path would unfold as it was meant to. And now, with the start of a new school year, Sam was ready to continue walking that path, with patience, understanding, and the quiet wisdom he had gained along the way.